Hi, these comments are for KP. How's it going today? And I'm getting ready to listen to your TOEFL integrated speaking practice test, so let me find the rubrics. I think I just got them right here. Okay, here are the integrated speaking rubrics the TOEFL uses to grade your test. So I think the speech rater is programmed to focus in this area. I think the E-rater looks more at your or speech rater, it looks more at your delivery and language use, and then the IBT human rater focuses a lot on the topic development. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here. Okay, here's your practice test.
In the listening passage, the professor explains the process of how glacier forms. To begin with, he states the glacier forms on high mountains in the polar region because the temperature in such area is always lowest.
Okay.
He goes on to say that the glacier starts forming when snow accumulates at the same place that eventually turns into ice. Every year, new layers of snow compress previous layers, which leads to recrystallization of snow and grain formation. Moreover, he mentions approximately after 2 years, snow turns into an intermediate stage between snow and glacier ice,
Okay.
and over time turns into a glacier.
That's right. And it becomes a glacier when the weight of it becomes so big that it begins moving downhill because of the forces of gravity. I think this is a good response. You always seem to have a good talent for organizing your ideas and your writing skills. Woo! Okay, so what can I say about it? I'm going to say you are 24 to 26 points, I think, on this practice test. The only thing that maybe is holding you back a little bit might be delivery, maybe a few minor problems with that, but I think that your control over your language use and topic development are strong. Let's listen one more time.
In the listening passage, the professor explains the process of how glacier forms.
Good. The process of how glaciers form. So the introduction is general and it frames the purpose of the listening passage.
To begin with, he states the glacier forms on high mountains in the polar region because the temperature in such area is always lowest. He goes on to
I would say it's always it's below freezing in many cases.
say that the glacier starts forming when snow accumulates at the same place that eventually turns into ice. Every year,
So it's
new
not
layers
warm
of
enough
snow
to melt
compress
that
previous
snow, so
layers, which leads to
that snow kind of keeps building up. I think you said the word accumulates, right? Which is the right word.
In the listening passage, the professor explains the process of how glacier forms.
Okay.
To begin with, he states the glacier forms on high mountains in the polar region because the temperature in such area is always lowest.
Now your grouping is fantastic. I like how you break these longer sentences into smaller parts and you're adjusting your tone accordingly.
He goes on to say that the glacier starts forming when snow accumulates at the same place that eventually turns into ice.
Okay.
Every year, new
How about that eventually compresses the snow until it becomes ice?
layers of snow compress previous layers, which leads to recrystallization of snow and grain formation. Moreover, he mentions approximately after 2 years.
So as you're speaking, just be careful that the T and the D are a little bit hard for you still, and the OO, 2 years. So some of the longer vowel sounds are still a little bit problematic in your speech, and the T and the D consonant sounds also.
Snow turns into an intermediate stage between snow and glacier
Snow turns into
ice and
turns into fern, an intermediate state between snow and glacial ice.
over time turns into a glacier.
Okay.
In the list,
Yeah, I think that my score is pretty accurate. I think that you're getting there. You're making a lot of good progress with your pronunciation. I know that you do pronunciation practice one day, speaking the next. Keep it up. Keep that up. I like it. You have an accent, right? But let's be honest here. If I look over at the actual rubrics, I have to look at it and say It says generally well-paced flow, fluid expression, speech is clear, may include minor lapses, minor difficulties with pronunciation or tone, which do not affect overall intelligibility. It means I can understand every single thing you're saying. I'm going to say it's mostly yes on that. So I'm going to put you, like I said before, 24 to 26 points on this. I think that you're getting really close to being able to reach this goal. I feel really good about this. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. This is good. All right. Thank you.